Good morning. Hi, Corinne. Welcome back. It's lovely to see you. Morning, Jack. Morning, Jen. And Naomi's still connecting to audio. Good morning. I thought we might start lying down this morning. But of course, if you would prefer to stay seated, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll lie down and just grab any support you need to be comfortable. Make sure that you are warm. You might like to sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times as you just settle into this present moment, beginning to let go of the outside world and starting to turn your attention inward. Be aware of the breath as you inhale, filling the lungs, and as you exhale and emptying. Just allowing the breath to slow down, letting everything settle. As you breathe in, you might say to yourselves, I am. And as you exhale, enough. Inhaling, I am. And exhaling, enough. I am. Enough. If you like, resting one hand over the heart space, the other hand over the belly, beginning to breathe into the heart and exhaling from the belly. You might like to add a little humming, a deep breath into the heart space, and then some humming. Perhaps 2 or 3 more of these. And then release the humming. And you might like to ask yourself, what is present today? Or what is longing to be known, to be heard? What is present today? Without changing anything, what can I notice about what I am experiencing right now? Without changing anything, can I allow this to be here? without changing anything? Can I touch this with tenderness? Can I touch this with tenderness? So the theme of this morning's practice is to be with what is. This may sound easy, but it can be one of the most difficult practices to work with. Human nature is to move away from that which is hard, challenging or painful, and seek things that are pleasurable and that make us feel good. Yet the philosophy of yoga teaches us that suffering comes from resisting what is happening. There's a good saying, what we resist persists. Joy comes from opening to what is, no matter what. I listened to a wonderful podcast last week with Tara Brach, and she was interviewing Roland Griffiths, who's a psychiatrist and a neuroscientist and the director of psychedelic research at Johns Hopkins University. Roland had received a very recent diagnosis of terminal cancer, and Tara was asking him how he was dealing with it. Roland, a long-time meditator, replied that he had never been happier and that he wouldn't swap his diagnosis for anything. So a really good example of someone walking their talk, experiencing contentment, what we call in yoga santosha, even whilst living with a terminal illness. Doesn't mean he or we won't have challenging moments or days or weeks, but it is about accepting where we are at, being compassionate towards ourselves and our experience, and remembering that this too shall pass. So as we commence our practice together this morning, the invitation is to be with what is, offer curious, loving attention to our sore knee, our headache, our frozen shoulder, or our heartache, or an upset tummy, and to see if we can actually find a sense of ease and peace and contentment amidst disturbance or pain or grief. It takes practice, determination, and courage to do this. So please honour the process, honour yourself. So we're going to start off in this lying down position with some very gentle neck rolls to begin. So I'm going to come to join you on my mat, but just make sure now that you are lying in a straight line, that you're not leaning to one side. If you've got anything covering you, you might like to remove that now. Make sure that your chin is tucking towards your chest, so the back of the neck is long, your arms are just down alongside you comfortably. And we'll exhale all breath here. Then we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, just slowly roll the head to the left side. So your chin is drawing towards the left shoulder. Make sure you're relaxing the right shoulder now. On the next inhale, return your head to center, tuck the chin forward, and then we'll take the head over to the right side. And again, relax the opposite shoulder. Breathe yourself to center, head to the left. Inhaling, so link the movement with your breath. And exhale, head over to the right side. Just noticing how the neck is feeling. It might feel quite different on each side. Inhale, center, back of the neck long. Head to the left. Now this time let's stay here for 2 or 3 breaths. So just relax as much as you can. Make sure you're not clenching the teeth. Skin of the face soft. Make sure your legs and your feet are relaxed. And then gently return your head to center as you inhale. And take the head over to the right side. And relax there and breathe. Good. And then slowly come back to center. Okay. Make sure your feet are at least hip width apart. Just start now to circle the feet. Nice, slow circles. And reversing. Good, and release. So we're going to work now with our heart breath. It's a really good cleansing practice, but also a little bit stimulating, helping to wake us up. It's also a good one to help us release frustration or anger. So feel free to watch the first one if you're not sure. As we breathe in, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. So we're stretching from fingertip to toe tip. And as we draw the knees in, we make that huff sound. Head can lift towards your knees if that's okay for your neck, otherwise keeping the head down. So we'll do 4 more. Inhale, you slide the legs away, arms lift up and overhead. Exhale, draw in. So let's keep going. Breathe in. And last one. This time keep the head down. Drawing the knees in. Good. And rock a little bit from side to side. All right, let's come back to center now. On the next inhale, raise your legs up to the sky. Lift the arms up and overhead or out to the side if that's better for your shoulders. On the exhalation, draw the knees in. Again, you may choose to lift the head. Inhale, lower the head, legs up, arms overhead. And exhale, draw in. Breathing in, legs to the sky. And breathing out. Let's do 1 more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Now just keep the head down. We're going to move into a twist. So inhale your arms out to shoulder height. Feet stay in the air or down on the mat for a gentler twist. Exhale the knees over to the right side. Head may turn to the left. Breathe yourself back to center. Realign your spine. And knees over to the left. Head may turn to the right. Inhale. Let's keep going. Exhale, knees over to the right. Let's stay here for a breath this time. Inhale to center. And exhale over to the left, head to the right. And again, we'll stay for a breath. Breathing in brings us to center. Knees to the right. This time we might stay here for 2 breaths. Make sure you're not clenching the teeth. The skin of the face is soft. Your shoulders are relaxed. Breathe yourself to center. Knees to the left, head to the right. 2 breaths. One more to each side, so taking the knees over to the right, and we're holding for 3 breaths this time. Inhale to center, and knees over to the left, head to the right, 3 breaths. Good, come back to center. Bring your arms down alongside your hips, moving into bridge now. So on the next inhale, we lift up. Perhaps not to the full extension the first couple of times. And exhale, we roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Inhaling, we lift. And exhale, we lower. Keep the back of the neck long. Inhale. And exhale. So again, we're linking the movement with our breath. Good. Finish the one you're on and work with 1 more. The back is flat, bring the knees in, give yourselves another little hug and perhaps a rock from side to side. Now we're going to do a little bit of abdominal strengthening work. If you don't feel up to this morning, you may prefer to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide, one hand on the heart, the other hand on the belly, and just do some work with the breath. Otherwise, we're going to create a right angle with our legs. So we can imagine we're pressing the feet against a wall, feel that your spine is in alignment, and then we're pressing the palms onto the thighs. So as we try to press the thighs away, at the same time, the thighs are pressing back into our palms. So we hold this here, feeling the abdominal area engaged. And make sure we're not holding the breath, so keep the breath flowing. We're going to do this 2 more times. So when you need a little rest, just bring the knees in, give yourselves a hug. And then when you feel ready, we'll go back into it for a 2nd time. So pressing the lower back down as much as you can. Try not to scrunch up the face. And you have a little rest when you feel the time is needed. And then 1 more. When you've had enough there, we'll cross the legs at the ankles, a hand on each knee, and just making some little slow circles on the floor with our lower back. Good. And cross the legs the other way. Let's circle in the opposite direction. And we'll roll carefully over to one side. We're going to come into extended child. So your knees at least hip width apart, big toes touching, arms extending forward. Or if you prefer, you can bring your palms together and rest the hands on the back of your head in Namaskar Mudra. Now, as we pause here, let's come back to those words as we inhale, I am. And on the exhale, enough. Breathing in, I am. Breathing out, enough. I am enough. Now we're going to work with a bit of a flowing sequence, moving from child into cat and then back into child. If you'd like to, we'll add some humming. We'll do 5 of these and then we'll start to add dog as well. So exhale all breath here. And then we'll inhale into cat and humming back into child. So 4 more like this. Inhale. Last one with the humming. Now inhale up into cat, tuck your toes. Let's move into down face dog pose. Stay here for 1 breath. And then lowering your knees. And back into child. We'll do a couple more of these. Inhale to cat, tuck your toes. Down face dog pose, 1 breath. Down to your knees. And into child. Inhale. Let's stay for 2 breaths now in dog.
into child. Inhale, count. Down, face dog pose, up to 3 breaths this time, but of course you can come down early if need be. Relax your head and your neck, soften the face. You might like to blow the breath out through the mouth. Fingers spread wide. When it's time, you come down and into child. Now, either having a rest here or we'll work with a variation. So come up onto your knees, tuck your toes, into dog. Walk your feet together and we'll raise the right leg up. So into our 3-legged dog. On the next exhale, let's bring that knee in towards the forehead, rounding the back. And inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale, back. Exhale, draw in. And take it back. Lower that right foot down. Let's take the left leg up. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale. Exhale, draw in. Take the leg back. And last one. And lower the foot down. Let's lower down onto our knees. And into child. Now this time we'll rest the arms. So you might make fists with the hands and rest your forehead on your fists, or bring your arms back alongside you. And just pause there for a couple of breaths. Just checking in with yourself, noticing what's going on inside. With some curious, loving attention rather than judgment. All right, let's come up onto all fours once again. This time bring your knees together and lift the shins off the floor. And we're going to turn to one side. So you're looking back over the shoulder, seeing if you can see your feet. Then you come back to center and swivel the opposite way. So we can keep this really slow, or we can speed it up. You play around with the speed, see what works for you this morning. So stretching through the side body, through the waist. Feel it working into the neck. Good. And back to center. Just release the hands, and if you like, do a few little rotations for your wrists. And reverse. Good. And we'll work with a bit of a stretch for the calves. So come back onto all fours. Take one leg back, tucking the toes under. And hold. Fingers spread wide, allowing the breath to flow. Good. And then release that knee down, take the other leg back. If this is a bit much for your wrist, you can always make fists with the hands, or try turning your fingers out to the side. Good. and release it down. Now we can do that again, or if you like a bit more of a challenge, I thought we'd have a go of moving from plank into Vasisthasana 1, our side balance. So you can come along with me or repeat that calf stretch. Any wrist or shoulder issues, probably best not to do Vasisthasana 1. A bit strong. All right, so we'll take one leg back, and then if you're coming along with me, take the other leg back. So you come into plank. Then we're going to take the right hand into the center of the mat and roll over onto the edge of the right foot. So left foot on top, left hand on your left hip. If you'd like to, you can raise that left arm up into the sky, or even looking forward, or you might, if you feel steady enough, choose to look up towards that left thumb. And breathe. Little smile. Those of you feeling super energetic this morning, you might try lifting that left leg up, flexing the foot. Lower the foot. Let's come back into plank. You can drop the knees down for the rest if you need to. Otherwise, left hand into the center, rolling over onto the edge of the left foot, right hand on your hip, or extending the right arm up, either looking forward or up towards your right thumb. And breathe. Option to raise that right leg, flexing the foot. And lower the foot, lower the right hand. Let's lower our knees and push back into extended child. Take a couple of breaths here. All right, let's inhale, come up onto all fours, tuck the toes into down face dog pose. Now from here, let's walk our feet towards our hands. So feet are at least hip width apart. Legs can be bent or straight. We'll lift up halfway, so fingertips onto the mat or onto your shins. And exhale, fold. Let's do this a couple more times. So breathe in, you lift halfway. And exhale, you lower. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, lower. Let's stay for a breath or two. Good. And then we're going to come into Utkatasana, our chair pose. So bend the legs quite generously. As you inhale, come up and reach the arms up. Now this is a bit much for your shoulders or your arms this morning. You might hold on to your opposite elbow. Good, so it's like we're sitting into an imaginary chair here. And again, if you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit, see if you can lift one foot up and just balance there for a moment. And then lower that foot and try lifting the other foot off the floor. Just relax your shoulders here. And lower. Let's see if you can lift both your heels. So balancing on the balls of the feet. And lower the heels. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Stretch the arms up, palms together. And bring your hands down to your heart. And take a breath or two here. All right, let's release the hands. Feet are hip width. We're going to go straight into our bouncing. Toes are spread, little bend in the legs, and just starting to shake. Perhaps blow the breath out through the mouth. You can exaggerate that shaking, even with the arms and the shoulders. You might sway a little bit from side to side.
Good. And then just start to slow that movement down. We're going to go into 3 stale air movers. So legs might be a little bit wider apart. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose, stretch the arms up, and then blow the breath out through the mouth.
So 2 more. Inhale, come up.
And let it all go.
And again.
And come forward.
And this time just stay forward for a couple of breaths. So again, legs can be bent or straight. Good. And then slowly come up. Lifting the shoulders up towards your ears and roll the shoulders down, back. Good.
So we'll do a little bit of that bit of tapping around the thymus gland. You can either use fingertips if you've had a bit of a cough or a cold, or we make fists. And we do 2 soft taps and then a thump. 2 soft taps, thump. 2 soft taps, thump. All over the upper chest, right out towards your armpits. You might want to blow the breath out quite forcefully through the mouth. Good. And then just slowly release. Rest the hands now over your spiritual heart center. You might like to close the eyes, soften the shoulders. We'll come back to our humming. So on the next inhale, let's take the arms out wide. And humming back to the heart. So 4 more of these. Breathe in. Last one. Take a breath there. And bring our hands into Namaskar Mudra. We're going to work with Circle of Joy. So as we breathe in, we interlace the fingers, raising the elbows. And as we exhale, we're rounding back. Inhale, take the arms up. And as we exhale, the arms float down. We interlace the fingers behind us. Breathe into the heart, pull the arms down, and then lift the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Again. Interlacing the fingers, breathe into the heart, lift the arms up. time bring the opposite index finger in front. Inhale. Now we're adding a lateral stretch here. So as we exhale, we lean over to the side. If this is a bit strong, you can have the arms shoulder width apart. Come back to center, tuck the chin in a little here, and over to the right side. Back to center. And let the arms float down. So again, opposite index finger in front. Breathe in, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and lift the arms up. And exhale. Last one. Over to the side. Back to center. Add a forward fold. Breathe into the heart. And on the exhalation, let's come forward, legs bent or straight. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. And hands back to the heart. And take a breath. Okay, so I'm going to work with a gentle twist here. So feet stay hip width apart, the hands begin again in Namaskar Mudra. As we breathe in, we're going to take the left hand to the lower back. And as we exhale, we're going to take this right hand over to the left and we turn to look over that left shoulder. Try to get the hips facing forward. On the next inhale, that right hand comes back to center and the left hand follows. Inhale, right hand to the lower back. Exhale, we turn to the right. Inhale, left hand to center and right. Let's do two more to each side. So breathing in, turning to the left. So again, try to keep the hips facing forward. Inhale to center. Left hand follows. Left hand to the lower back. Turn to the left. Release the hands down. Let's breathe in through the nose as we sweep the arms up. And we're blowing the breath out through the mouth. Slow movement. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Let's do 3 more. And release. Okay, let's take the legs wider apart to work with
Another lateral stretch. So outer edges of the feet are parallel. And let's exhale all breath. As we breathe in, we're going to raise the arms to shoulder height. We'll turn to the left. And as we exhale, we're tipping over to the left side, looking down towards our left big toe. Breathe yourself back to center and turn to the right and tip over to the right side. Inhale, let's keep going. So link the movement with your breath. This time, come back to center and release the arms down. All right, let's turn the left toes around now. And we're going to work with triangle, Trikonasana, but a little different variation. If this isn't great for your shoulders and your arms, just work with any variation that is possible, available for you this morning. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this right arm around the back and see if we can reach for the left hip crease. Then we place the left hand on top of the right. So this is the first stage. We'll take a deep breath in, and then as we exhale, we're just leaning over to this left side, watching this right shoulder doesn't do this, doesn't start to creep forward. So we want to keep drawing that right shoulder back. May not be able to get down quite as far, but this is the stretch we're looking for. So we're trying to draw that left hip crease back as we lean over, and hold at some point and breathe. So remember, with our triangle, we're not wanting to scrunch up this left side of the torso. We're trying to keep this side here, the underside, as long as this top side here. So keep leaning over, not trying to go down so much as lean over to the side. Lengthen that left side of the torso. Continuing to roll that right shoulder back, probably wants to creep forward every now and then. Okay, let's slowly come up. Now we're going to do that side again, and we can extend that if we'd like to. So deep breath in and coming over. Now here we may let this left arm come down, and we may extend this arm up, so into our more traditional triangle. You might turn to look up along that arm towards your right thumb, or just keep the head in a neutral position. If you want to take this a little bit further, we're going to bring this left arm up and we're leaning over. So ideally the hands are about shoulder width apart. It's pretty strong, so be careful, breathe. And then we'll lift all the way up and lower the arms. And we'll try the other side. So we may wrap this left arm around, reaching for the right hip crease, and then the right hand goes on top, working to roll this left shoulder back. So breathing in, and as we breathe out, we're leaning over to this side. Endeavouring to draw that right hip crease back, left shoulder back, keeping that right side of the torso long, not compromising that to get further down. The face is relaxed, the breath is flowing. Good. Let's slowly come up. And we'll go into that for a second time. A deep breath in. And coming over. So option to release the right arm down and the left arm up at this point. You might stay here, looking forward or up towards that left thumb, or you might like to bring that right arm up, take the left arm over a little bit and hold, breathe. Let's come all the way up. And release. Good work. Bring the feet together, give them a shake. Let's move into our flowing bird now. So feet are hip width. When you're ready, inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale. Breathe in. And arms by your side. Synchronize your movement with your breath. Okay, this next time we come into the forward fold, we're going to stay there. Let the arms come down to the legs or to the mat. We're going to walk the hands forward and take the feet back, coming into down face dog pose. If you've had enough at this point, just come to lie down onto your tummies. Otherwise, we're holding dog, connecting with our breath. And then if you'd like to, we're going to come forward into plank one more time. You can hold this as long as you like. And when you've had enough in plank, you might like to try lowering down through Chaturanga Dandasana. Seeing if you can hover off the floor for a second or two or three, and then we're all going to meet lying on our tummies on our mats. Resting one hand on top of the other, your chin or your forehead on your hands. You might sigh the breath away here. As you say to yourself a few times, I am enough. I am enough. Taking a few moments now to absorb, to integrate, process. Allow yourself to be with what is. Can we make room for the parts of ourselves that we don't like? Can we acknowledge that there is nothing inside of us to be ashamed of or afraid of? Can we allow ourselves to be perfect and imperfect at the same time? I'm going to work with a couple of back strengthening poses, beginning with a variation of Sphinx. That's really good for our posture. We tend to roll the shoulders forward, concave the chest, good for opening the heart. So feet are hip width or mat width, if that's better for your lower back. The feet are going to stay on the floor. We're going to bring the forehead onto the mat and take our hands out wide. So your hands are on the carpet or floorboards in line with your face. So if you're not sure, have a look. So we'll exhale all breath. And as we inhale, we're lifting arms, head, chest. Lifting your elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and exhale, lower. So inhale, we lift. Tops of the feet press into the mat. And exhale, we lower. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Good. Now take a rest. If it's helpful, bend the legs and just swing the lower legs from side to side. Now we're going to have a go at Dhanurasana. So half bow, and then if you'd like to, full bow. So first variation, we'll take the right arm above the head, forehead is on the mat. Bend the left leg and either rest your left hand on the buttock, or if you can, hold on to your foot or ankle. And we'll see if we can draw the heel to touch the buttock. Inner knees are touching. So we're going to just lift up once and you stay as long as you like. Come down when it's time. So exhale all breath. Breathing in, we lift everything up. Point the right toes, stretch the right fingers forward. Keep breathing. When you've had enough, you lower down and you swap the arms and legs over. Forehead on the mat. Exhale all breath. Inhaling, we lift. Keep the skin of the face soft, the mouth free of tension, the breath is flowing. And lower when it's time. Now, if you've had enough, you might push back into child pose at this point. Otherwise, we'll try full bow, Dhanurasana. So forehead comes onto the mat, we bend both legs, either resting the hands on the buttocks or holding onto your feet or your ankles. The arms are straight to begin with. Exhale all breath. Inhale, let's lift. So again, we're just doing this once. You stay as long as you like. If you're holding the feet, see if you can bring your big toes to touch. Perhaps a little smile. Resting when it's time. And pushing back into child pose. any version of child that you like. Sending the breath down into your lower back. If it's quite tender, you may make fists with the hands and give yourself a little bit of a rub here. Slowly come up. And just swing the legs around in front of you. Let's work with our forward fold. You might sit up onto a blanket or a cushion for a little bit of extra support under the buttocks. Arms are down alongside your hips, nice tall spine. Tuck the chin in a little. Let's inhale, raise the arms up. Interlock your thumbs and just wriggle and stretch from side to side a little bit. Then as you exhale, come forward. So let's do that 2 more times. So inhale, take the arms up, interlock your thumbs, wriggle and stretch from side to side. When you need to, exhale, come forward. And once more. Let's stay for a few breaths in our forward fold, legs bent or straight. Just allowing everything to slow down now. Perhaps saying to yourselves, I am enough. I am enough. Inhale, stretch the arms up, bring your palms together and exhale. Do a little twist from side to side, so take the hands to one side, leaning down, come to center and to the other side. Unumanasana, greeting the earth. Again, you can keep this slow or you can speed it up, see what feels good for you this morning. Good, and come back to center. Make sure you work evenly to both sides. We're going to set ourselves up now for Shavasana. So grab what you need to be comfortable, and I'll come up to be closer with you again. Settling down. You might like to stretch both arms overhead as you breathe in, point the toes away. And as you exhale, lower the arms back down. So stretching through the whole body 2 more times. Inhale, stretching from fingertip to toe tip. And exhale. And once more. And then just allow everything to feel as though it is where it is meant
to be where it belongs. Feel yourself sinking down, down, down. Accepting, allowing, softening, breathing. And then in this quiet space, I invite you to imagine that someone who really loves you, someone in your life who has love in their eyes or eyes of compassion, might be a person who is still alive or who is no longer with you, might be a beloved pet, a spiritual teacher or deity like Kuan Yin or Mother Mary. Imagine this person, this being is sitting next to you now, holding your hand. Bring this being into your awareness and imagine receiving kindness and warmth from this being. Know that there is nothing you need to do in order to receive this kindness, this care, this warmth. This being loves you just as you are. The whole of you, with all of your perfections and imperfections, with all of your cracks and bumps and wounds and bruises. Notice the love and compassion and acceptance that is available to you. Feel the warmth of their hand holding yours. Love is medicine for the soul. Accept this love. Take it in like a healing tonic. Let it lift your spirits and comfort your soul. Resting in the love and warmth and compassion you have for yourself. Fully receptive to the love and compassion within yourself. Gently absorbing this being into yourself, or if you prefer, seeing this being of light fade into the distance. It's up to you. And then becoming aware once more of your surroundings, listening to sounds, feeling the temperature of the air on your face, on your skin, the light pressure of clothes against your skin. Aware of the breath flowing in and flowing out. And bringing a little movement into your fingers and your toes. I'd like to have a bit of a stretch, do what feels good. Carefully rolling over to one side and making your way up into a comfortable seated position. We'll close with one Om this morning. If you'd like to join with me, bring the hands together into Namaskar Mudra. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy this beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Lots of love.